Hi, my name is Florin Szondi. I'm a physical education and sport performance teacher, and also I'm a martial arts and especially Tai Chi and Qigong teacher for a long time. I will start this story with the first day when I meet Mr. Roman Proshkin, who came with an excellent idea to see and to experiment the pyramid effect. From that moment, based on my experience and from my perspective, I decided to totally involve in this and see how the things are going.
В декабре прошлого года мне позвонил из Америки мой друг Роман Прошкин и поинтересовался, не занимался ли я строительством пирамид.
I met Roman through Florin, Master Szondi, who was my Tai Chi teacher, and the three of us talk quite often, and the subject of energy comes up fairly often in our conversations. I've had an interest in this since childhood, and so this type of a subject always arouses my interest. And one time when we were speaking, Roman mentioned that he had a friend in Russia who has done a lot of experimentation with pyramid energy. Well, I heard a lot about pyramid energy back in the 70s when I was in college, and for the most part what I heard was it's great for sharpening razor blades, and that's about it. In other words, not very useful for anything that's of any practical purpose. However, Roman explained that his friend Sam, who's been doing this research with the pyramid energy, has been finding that it has useful purposes when built properly for healing and for improving people's quality of life.
Я в своей жизни много делал экспериментов с энергиями. Но меня, как практического врача, интересовал всегда результат. Конечный результат. Что будет, если? И поэтому в течение многих лет я интересовался пирамидами, материалом, из которых их строят, как их ставят, как замеряют энергию внутри пирамиды, да и снаружи. Я построил простую пирамиду, но соблюл два главных условия. Первое, она была точной копией пирамиды Гиза, то есть имеющая золотое сечение. Соотношение высоты пирамиды к длине ребра равнялось 1 к 1,62. Второе, я ориентировал эту пирамиду по частям света. Я поставил внутри раскладушку головой на север и начал делать энергетические замеры. Как оказалось, в нижней трети пирамиды энергия начинает быстро восстанавливаться. Проходит слабость, улучшается настроение и сон. Стираются острые состояния.
As you know, any great idea need to be put in a practice and realize the project. So we invite actually Mr. Sam from St. Petersburg to come and help us to build this pyramid. Actually, he sent all dimension and all proportion of and instruction how to build this pyramid.
Когда Роман позвонил, что они решили строить пирамиду, Я был с ними на связи практически каждый день для того, чтобы скорректировать какие-то тонкости при строительстве пирамиды. В частности, я рекомендовал на вершине пирамиды поставить кристалл горного хрусталя. Мы говорили о том, как сделать углы, как ориентировать пирамиду, из какого материала, чтобы он не согнулся, не сломался. Много других моментов.
Among our questions for the pyramid, besides dimensions, were what can we make it of? You know, what if it was to be metal? What kind of metal? If it's wood, which it wasn't, what type of wood? How can it be put together? What was Sam's pyramid like? Because we wanted to try to make it as close to what he did as possible within reason, with respect to what we have here for materials. And it took about a week or so to figure all that out. Florin drew the pyramid up as far as the dimensions, so we had something to look at to really understand what we were looking for. We went to a couple of different metal supply places until finally we found the one that had just the right parts so that we can get everything in one trip. So it worked out complicated at first, but as we progressed it got simpler and simpler and simpler.
Из литературы, из данных других авторов по строительству пирамиды я видел, что их делали из самых разных материалов. Дерево, металла, сталь. Я решил упростить этот вопрос и заодно проверить одну гипотезу.
The day has come. So Roman and Duane came with materials and we started building the pyramid. Everybody was excited. So as you see here, I have a pyramid which is exactly the same proportion like Egyptian pyramid. It is a big pyramid from Egypt. Roman and Duane, they build the base. You see the base, and from that moment we start to think how we connect these four lines, respecting the right angle in the top. That become my task. That become my I should say challenge, because never built something like that before, no experience. But we did it. So I find a way how to connect these three lines in the right angle. We create a wood support and create a 4 points connection, and we was able to really connect these 4 line in the same point. More than that, Duane came with an excellent idea, and Mr. Sam from St. Petersburg, he was agree with this, to install on the top of the pyramid a crystal to be able to increase the power of the pyramid. That was, and all this construction was a very, very interesting moment for us. From the moment we start building the pyramid, knowing it is a challenge and we will have surprises, we need like 3 days to finish our project. And one of our most important concern, and we try to realize that to build this pyramid to be a safe place, not to collapse, not to harm other people, and to realize the right proportion. Roman Proshkin came with an excellent idea to, you see we have here 3 lines, and he realized this joint with a very, very interesting idea to connect the the upper line, upper part, you see the line, using epoxy, and he did that, and it was excellent idea, and this is how actually we could connect the base of the pyramid with the rest, with the peak. Like I said, it was very, very important for us to realize a solid structure and correct one, and also a safe one.
So the pyramid that we built was 9 feet tall, and as you might imagine, that doesn't fit inside very well. We built it outside, and when we built it, it was cold outside, so that was an experience in itself. But we built it in a large driveway that gave us room to move around and fit everything together. Part of the biggest challenge, really, of the pyramid assembly was the corners of the pyramid, in particular where the joints would come together, because in the top of the pyramid, we wanted to be able to put a crystal there, which isn't really necessary, but it amplifies the energy, as we understand. So we wanted to do that because that's the way it's done it when Sam does it at home. And then the corners where the base of the pyramid is, now they're square, but there's a piece that comes up that's at an angle that is not 90 degrees, not 45. It comes up at a particular angle. And that joint for that corner had to be basically made, fabricated, you want to call it that, by us for the application. There was no ready-made piece that we could find anywhere that served that purpose. So it took a while to put the pyramid together. It wasn't really that much of an easy task. But once we did get it together, the next thing is, well, let's try it out. So I was not the first. Florin was the first to get in the pyramid, and he'll tell his story about it. But
I was the first one who I asked actually my friend Roman and Duane to let me be first one to get in and to see what is actually happening inside of the pyramid. That was the first day after we finished the pyramid, and I have to tell you something about this. It was an amazing feeling. It was like getting inside. Life filled. That was my first experience, my first life experience with the pyramid. I was sitting, laying down on the lower level. There is certain levels where you need to stay and receive to have a connection with the line of energy in the pyramid. And my feeling was I'm going in a temple, like in such a peaceful and quiet area. I was sitting there for 20 minutes in the pyramid, and not very easy to describe that feeling. Not very easy to use words to describe what you feel in a pyramid.
But when I got in the pyramid, I had a pretty interesting experience in that I felt like there was a line of energy, a very definite line, almost like a rod, moving up my body, starting at my feet and going up. And as it came up to right about here, it stopped. And when it stopped there, I thought, well, that's about the level of my third eye. And what I noticed at the same time was that my third eye seemed to be moving around a little bit, as if it was activating. And this scan of energy didn't go past that, like it was trying to activate my third eye. I guess I'm not really sure, but at the same time, I can see energy when I really want to, and I could definitely tell that this was activating that type of a perception in my third eye area, so that was a little interesting.
Everything was ready. The pyramid was standing. 3 people already. We, the builder, we tried to build in the pyramid, but we realized we need an expert, the one who actually came and have a lot of knowledge about building and seeing and using the pyramid. I mentioned before Mr. Sam from St. Petersburg, and we actually invited him to come. And he came, and he saw the pyramid. He was very, very, very happy to see we did it.
Когда я приехал после строительства пирамиды в Америку, я увидел совершенно замечательную пирамиду, которая была сделана точно так, как я рекомендовал им из Петербурга.
He came and he measured the field, he measured the land, he measured the room, he measured the line of energy on the ground, in the ground. From that moment we understood it is very, very important not only to build a pyramid and respecting the size and the proportion and angles and choosing the right material, being a solid and safe structure, but to orient it, to place the pyramid on the right spot, on the right place, in a certain angles, according to the 4 cardinals direction: north, south, west, and east. He came, he measured, and immediately he indicated we have to remove the pyramid on the right angle.
And that was a pretty interesting experience in itself, because there are many things about the location of the pyramid that come into play that we really didn't have an idea about until he showed up, which is pretty interesting when you consider the pyramid still works to a certain extent regardless of what we did before, but when we followed his more specific directions, it was like it amplified what it does tremendously.
Мы сделали массу измерений, посмотрели, как вращается она в нижней части, как движение энергии происходит в средней части и верхней части пирамиды.
Такое сильное вращение идет в правую сторону, в правую, понимаешь? Вот я лежу, вот у меня вращается вот рука. Во, скорость вращения сильная. Она заставляет мои клетки на клеточном и ДНК-шном уровне вращаться в правую сторону.
Да и по субъективным ощущениям, чувствую легкости, снятию напряжения и прочим другим моментам, я увидел, что пирамида работает хорошо.
Of course, it was very, very interesting to see how he placed the pyramid, the position of the pyramid, and we tried again. All of us this time, starting with him, Roman and Duane, and also me, and we saw the difference. I mean, the power, the field inside of pyramid change and become more stronger than before. And
the experiences were more tangible, more amplified. You know, we have this experience among us, but what about other people? And that's when our experiment grew. And Sam said, well, why not invite people over? We'll do a presentation, we'll see what they experience.
Having him here in the United States with us, it was a great opportunity not only to help us to understand how the pyramid should be placed. But also, it was a very good opportunity to explain and invite other people, ask him to explain and to share with us a lot of knowledge from his experience. That's why we decided together to invite as many people we could, and to invite them to come and participate to his lecture, explaining and talking about the pyramid, and coming and try to stay, to spend a certain time, to see how they feel, how they the effect of the pyramid. So the big day came. It was a Saturday in the weekend, and I was very surprised to see how many people are actually interested to participate. We didn't tell them too many things, we just invited them to come, and
Nobody was told this is what you're going to get, that this is what you're going to expect, this is the experience, because we wanted to keep it as open as possible. Basically, measure their energy level with the device that Sam brought before and measured it after that they got in the pyramid, and recorded what they listed as their experiences. And so with that many people, they weren't all people who were into stuff like this. In fact, some of them were very skeptical. This is new to them, and I think from my understanding, every single person there had an unusual experience compared to what they expected. Whatever expectations they had were exceeded, I guess is the best way to say it.
Пирамиды меня интересовали много лет назад. И где-то лет 15 назад я создал проект, который назывался «Храм всех религий».
Mr. Sam opened the lecture with such a good information about the history of the pyramid, the pharaohs, the Egyptian, and how the pyramid is working, the vertige inside of the pyramid, the 3 levels of the pyramid, and how the pyramid actually can positively influence and help even people who have a healthy problem. And it was a very interesting day, like I said. He opened not only curiosity, but make people to open their mind to fully participate to this without any skepticism, without any just they came. Actually, that was a very interesting observation, because looking at people who came from the moment when they came and they came close to to our structure, they changed the mood already. They become positive. They become very optimistic. They fully participate. They was waiting to get in the pyramid one by one.
It was different. First went into relaxation, but then with my eyes closed, I started seeing different shades of colors. And the last color I thought was blue or purple, and it was bright. It went because I was breathing, meditating, and just the colors just came in. So it felt very different. I feel rested and more peaceful than I was before I went in. But I haven't seen colors like that before in a long time. Last time I saw that was when I was being healed by a Taoist priest. So that was unique, very unique. I'd like to build one at home.
So one one by one, all these 40 people, including us, we get in the pyramid, and I saw a few common feelings, common points. After they came out, they all express about the peaceful, about the harmony, about the charging the battery, the energetical battery, and such a positive feeling, just staying, laying down in a pyramid.
Ну, общий дискутон хороший, да?
Просто хороший, да, весело. Мне очень просто happy.
Ну, молодец, хорошо.
Мое ощущение в пирамиде было в первый момент. Я чувствовала по всему телу, как иголочки прошлись. И потом началась боль в правом запястье и под правым коленом. Но в течение, наверное, в течение 5 минут это прошло. Потом общее такое расслабление, очень приятные ощущения начались.
But inside the pyramid feels very peaceful. When I lay down, I thought, usually I'm a little uncomfortable, from arthritis or something. I wasn't uncomfortable at all. It's very easy to lay there peacefully and comfortably. And in the beginning, I felt a little poke in my kidney area, a little bit of a sharp poke, and then that totally went away. And I started to enter into meditation. I was doing a mantra, and I was kind of shutting out the noise, and I saw a little vision of, it was like a bottle of dark liquid that was bubbling over, and I didn't know what that was. I thought maybe it was related to the kidneys. But that was right at the very end when Roma came and woke me up. I was starting to get deeply into meditation.
Знаешь, у меня началось такое очень сильное сердцебиение, такое вот покалывание здесь, вот в сердце, немножко такое вот как бы содрогание немножко такое. Но вот я чувствовала, я хотела как-то заснуть, но я абсолютно не могла заснуть. У меня какой-то прилив возбуждения было, да, наоборот, нежели чем я думала, что я как-то немножко успокоюсь.
It was very interesting. I took a few minutes, but once I kind of got relaxed, I started feeling like a tingling, almost like a massaging on the sides of my temples and the top of my head. And then felt like an opening or a loosening down through the center of my chest at one point. But otherwise very relaxing, able to just relax and breathe deep and breathe very slowly, shallowly, and through my stomach. Felt good.
With regard to measuring energy, one thing that should be mentioned here is Sam is a medical doctor in Russia with 50 years experience with a practice now. So he's an active doctor over there with a multifaceted approach, which includes energy. So these ways of measuring energy that he has are routine for him. It's not experimental in any way. The people that went through the pyramid and everybody that participated, their energy levels were measured before and after, so to give a comparison between the two. And in general, the average increase in energy level was 30%. So if you took 10 people, some might be a little bit lower, some may be a little bit higher, but the middle line was 30%. And one of the interesting parts about it was some of the people that were there were nervous or agitated. Not agitated, that's too strong of a word, but a little nervous, a little scattered when they got there. And their energy level measured actually as drop in energy, not an increase, but their calmness did as well. It's like they became more centered, more focused as a result of their experience in the pyramid. So,
если прислушаться, то, естественно, я почувствовала разницу, когда я вышла из нее. Скажем так, вот это вот был такой переломный момент. Самый чувствительный. Ну, плюс вот еще и показатель. Сначала я пришла вся такая взбудораженная на 94, а сейчас уже 65. Я спокойная, улыбчивая, разговорчивая.
And every single person who visit us and who came, they spend this time in the pyramid, and it was very interesting to find out from them what they feel, what they discover spending this time inside in a pyramid.
Got really relaxed. I noticed that as I got more calm, I felt my body pulsating, and I felt pretty much throughout my body. I've had some toothaches lately, and I did notice at the beginning that I was very aware of my jaw and my gums on my lower, and it felt like maybe some energy moving through there, and it feels a little less sore. In fact, I don't feel sore in my tooth right now at all.
Информация истекается от каждой клетки тела.
So information goes from every cell of the body.
И из космоса.
From
From universal and body. И все это стекается сюда в подкорковый узор.
Пожалуйста.
Вначале просто легла, и у меня особого ощущения такого никакого не было. А потом какой-то, как бы волны вот по мне проходят, вот такие вот воздушные. И такое впечатление, как будто вот туда, вот так вот, лунообразное какое-то. И потом вот такое впечатление, вот больше всего мне вот в эту область какой-то, такой вот, как, типа... Когда вот так вот себе делаешь, вот это было снаружи. Такой полный релакс.
Я вот почувствовала, у меня проблемное было плечо, и я как бы почувствовала сразу, что у меня активизировалась как бы пульсирующая боль все время в этом. Она не болела у меня. А пошла вот и реально, я вот чувствовала все это время пульсацию вот в этом сосудном, да? Вот так, причем достаточно сильно. Ты знаешь, это так вибрация такая чуть-чуть.
More and more people got in the pyramid, and this is one person at a time, let me say that. But each one came out energized, and that energy remained after the fact. So what basically happened was the group got more and more excited because more and more people had a pyramid experience and got out and were all excited about what happened. So people started spontaneously doing Tai Chi. Children were getting, there were several children there. Their children were getting excited, running around. It was just, it was an interesting experience to see that many people that excited about something that we wondered if they would even like it in the first place. And instead, it turned into like a celebration of sorts.
Мне было очень интересно работать с этой группой людей, потому что это были не только пациенты, не участвовали в этом, с моей точки зрения, выдающиеся специалисты своего дела, только работающие с энергиями. Это был Florin, мастер восточных единоборств. Это был Duane, который длительное время изучал методы лечения южноамериканских индейцев. Это был Прошкин, потрясающий целитель. И другие. И тем более я вдвойне был доволен тем высоким результатом, который показала система энергетического воздействия пирамид.